Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Welcome to part 5 of growing a Baobab bonsai from seed. We just got a rain and the temperatures have cooled off, so I've been running the heater at nighttime in the greenhouse. It's been getting down to like 18, 19 degrees at night, which is kind of cool for a Baobab. So let's go in and see how they're doing. So it doesn't feel really warm in here. Let me check the temperature. It is it's about 25 or 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So here's the seedlings, and I did close the jar up just to keep the humidity in. I didn't want it drying out. So I'll open these up and we'll have a look at the seedlings. All right, let's open it up. This is the end of day 1, soaking, well, not soaking, but sitting on the paper towels. And they have a smell to them, and it's not a very pleasant smell. It smells sort of like sewer gas. So, I don't know, hopefully they're okay. I'm going to open them up. Oh, look at this. Okay, I'll give you an overhead shot of them. Here they are. And you can notice on this one, there's a root tip extending. Also this one, and the one up here also has a bit of a root sticking out now. And the other two are also getting a little extension on the root there. So maybe, I don't notice much green color, but that's a good sign that something's changed on the seedling overnight in the first day. So that's positive that there's something moving and growing. So I'll leave them in the greenhouse here in the bottle for another day, and then we'll come back and check on them and see if they're ready for planting. I put the fan and the heater back on in the greenhouse, and now I'm going to check and see if there's any progress on the truck. So here I go.
All right, so basically what I've kind of accomplished so far is I've kind of diagnosed the reason why the box sides were kind of just kind of spread out and whatnot. Yeah. So there's a couple of stress cracks going on here, like in this area right here, and over here from where they kind of notched out for the trailer hitch to work. Okay. And by the looks of it, they didn't even really necessarily need to do it, let alone go up that high. So I'm going to be getting a piece made up just to basically go from here, like from one side of the box to the other. Yeah. And I'm going to be kind of stitch welding it across just to kind of strengthen it up. And then, just took some measurements, made sure everything was all kind of square. Before I do weld whatever in place though, I am going to, I do have to finish fixing the tailgate. Okay. Welded in a couple patch, welded in one patch so far, and we're kind of working on this one. Okay. I just I noticed that the rock was a little bit further up. Okay. So then I don't know if I'm gonna make I don't know if I'm gonna just make a separate another one of these and just make it a little bit longer. That way it's all one piece, or I might just go in with a second piece just to save a little bit of time. Yeah. Here I'll kind of flip this over and you can kind of get a better look. This is the back side. Yeah, it was pretty rotten right by the hinges, eh? Oh yeah. Or the pivot points. Yeah, this is that's what's left of it, eh? Yeah, and some previous repair work and repair over repair. Yeah, there's body filler in here. Oh yeah, so like you can kind of see even on this piece, it's not a terrible amount, but it's still it's there, isn't it? Oh yeah, it's there. Covering up the bad stuff. Oh yeah. But here we got so we got the one side kind of already kind of tacked in here and welded, stitch welded all around. That looks fantastic. Yeah, it's not too bad. Looks strong. Oh yeah. That's awesome. I got no issues guaranteeing that. It's not going anywhere. No. Well, that's awesome. And then look at the body filler, how thick it was. Oh yeah. Holy, I never would have guessed. So you know what? So then there's a common misconception with body filler. A lot of people are like, oh, it's terrible stuff. As long as it's used properly, like within its proper thicknesses, you know. But yeah, this piece here, I just kind of figured that I was just gonna kind of do this.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of weld her in there for you, and
yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, just to kind of clean it up a little bit, and you know, keep it in mind being cost effective and whatnot too. So
yep,
it should be all right for what you're wanting to do there, Nigel.
That's awesome. And you did.
Oh yeah,
patch the one hole over here.
Yeah, so I haven't done any like welding per se over here yet, but so basically. Just what we've kind of done, just to kind of close up that god awful hole.
There's a seal in there now.
Yeah, and then same with over where the e-brake cable.
Oh yeah, right over here too. Yeah.
Yep.
And then you've laid out.
Yeah.
Where you've got to trim this corner here.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah. So that's just where it's kind of been welded in. I just gotta. Yeah. Basically, just kind of die grind that out, and then that trim piece should be able to fit a little more. Properly.
Yeah. All right. That's great.
Sweet.
Awesome. And then all the bed work will be done over at the other shop, I guess.
Yeah, like
lining up the body and the bed
once
and
we get a hoist available, and then I got the rest of the tailgate and the box all figured out.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of more so my main goal, was just to kind of make sure like the metal work's all done, everything's all kind of good that way.
Yeah. We'll be fixing the holes down here too, I guess.
Oh yeah, fixing the wheel wells there. So I'll bend up some pieces for that, and then yeah, putting a little patch over that hole, over that. Over that brace there.
Yeah, this one has a hole in that brace too, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can throw a quick patch on that one too.
All right. Sure. All right, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at.
Great to see
in the stage so far.
Truck coming along.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Mike.
Hey, no problem.
Awesome.
I don't know. I guess my $400 purchase as of last December. First car I actually bought on my lunch break. But yeah, it's a '78 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. It's a little rough around the edges, but yeah, seems to work all right.
Yeah, that's cool.
One of my probably 16 or 18 cars I own currently right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, she's a beaut.
Oh yeah.
A work in progress, just like everything else.
Oh yeah, all my stuff's work in progress, man.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Hey, no problem.
See you later.
Yeah, see ya.
That was an update to the orchard truck. I'll cycle home now, and we'll start today's work in the bonsai zone. It's the middle of the afternoon now. Let's go in and check on the Baobab seeds. All right, here we go. Ooh, it's warm and humid in here. As you can see, the lens just fogged up right away. It is. It's about 40 degrees in here, or 102 Fahrenheit. That didn't go too well. The camera fogged up. I'll have to bring the little seedlings outside and show them to you. Here's the jar, and it's quite warm to the touch. You know, not hot, but it's nice and warm, and I think that's probably the environment they're looking for. So let's get them out and have a look at them now. All right, let's open the jar up. There's that smell. Oh, it smells horrid. Let's see what these little seedlings are doing. Here's a look at the seedlings. There doesn't seem to be much progress. So yeah, not too many changes. Well, I'll put them back in the jar and we'll let them be for a while longer. I don't want to plant them until the root is sticking out, you know, about this much. So it's got a good amount of root to stick into the soil. I was just about to fold the tissue up and I touched one of the little seedlings and it was all mushy. See that one? It just broke apart. Way too wet. I'm gonna see if this one is too. That one's okay. These ones are okay. This one's okay. So it's just that one. I guess it got too wet and rotted. So I'm going to take that one out. That's no good. Oh, and it smells horrible. So yeah, I'm going to take that out. That's That's no good. So we're down to 4 seedlings now. And I'm going to put them on a fresh spot on this paper towel. That was no good. Now I'm wondering if that temperature too high for them. I'll just break off this part of the paper towel. It's got that mushy stuff on it. I've got them back in the jar, and I'm going to leave the lid off this time. Maybe it was just too warm and humid and it just rotted that one seed, or maybe that one seed was just not viable. Maybe it was a dead seed to begin with and it just rotted in the heat and humidity. So I'll put it back in the greenhouse and we'll check in with them later today. Well, it seems the flies like that decaying seed. There's a couple on it right there. One of the things I like to do with a new species of tree like these baobabs is I look up where they're naturally from, and then I look up the climate in that region. So let's go do that now. I've created an animation that shows the location of the baobab trees in Africa, their general range. And you can see the red dots are the locations of baobab trees, and it shows what countries they're generally located in. And those are the countries that I want to look at the climate, checking the rainfall, the hours of sunlight, and the average temperatures. And those are the conditions I want to duplicate in my plant room over the winter. I'm out here in the community orchard, and our orchard team is hard at work planting the little larch seedlings in our growing bed. So what are you doing, Shelley?
We're just getting these larches into the bed.
Cool.
So that they've got some time to get bigger before they're ready to go into the edible forest.
Awesome. And Kim, you're putting wood chips on.
I'm putting wood chips down because I don't want to spend all my life watering and weeding.
Weeding, exactly.
This is going to help keep the water in and the weeds out.
That's what we want.
That's what we want.
Well, our bed's looking good. It was quite messy a while back, and we've got some leftover plants here. I think these are sweet potatoes, and we've got asparagus and ground cherries.
Is that deep enough yet, Shelley, or deeper?
I think that's okay, Laura. We've finished the work for today on the garden. Let's go have a look at it now. So here it is. We put the larch trees in, and the larch has had some really good root systems from those root maker pots. I forgot to video it, but the roots were going out of those air holes and they were being air pruned and had a really nice fibrous root system in that new soil. So I've got the 5 larches are in the ground now. We dug them in nicely, and then we put all this mulch around them, all the trees to keep the weeds out and keep the moisture in the ground. So that's looking really good. We have to find some birch trees to put in here also for the First Nations garden. So we'll have the tamarack trees or larch trees, the birch trees, and then we have the cedars way over there. This plum cherry here is grown from a seed, and it's in its 2nd year. And it's getting up to about waist high, which is really good. And it's getting a nice thick trunk on it. So yeah, I think these larches, we'll see how they grow this year, but I think we'll only have to keep them in the ground for maybe 3 years. And then they can be tall enough, kind of when they get head height, to put them out in the First Nations garden. We're back out here at the shop. We're gonna go check on the truck again.
Awesome. Yeah, so Mike again. So basically what I've kind of got situated. So we got more work done on the tailgate. So we've kind of got the gaps figured out, like kind of closed them in because they were kind of separated from the tailgate. So what I've kind of done is I've kind of semi-reinforced the box with some ratchet straps for the time being, temporarily, just to kind of make sure gaps are okay. Finished welding up the tailgate just to make sure that wasn't going to be an issue, but kind of more so going for having it more square to the tailgate, and so it's you know, it's not so V'd out.
Yeah,
and yeah, it seems to be working pretty good so far.
Well, my bumper is kind of crooked, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that'll be so that'll be probably more so to deal with when we.
Oh, that's the ratchets are probably lifted out and up a bit, eh?
And like when we go to lift the back of the box or whatever, I'll make sure it's all kind of it's all kind of tweaked so it's not so crooked for you.
Yeah, okay. Oh, looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And you got sticky notes out everywhere.
Oh yeah, sticky notes. Yeah, just little
patches and.
Yeah, I figure I had to take a little measurement. Okay, there's my little patch. I'll stick that near the area for the time being.
That's cool.
Just so I don't lose track, because I'm always so in between different little jobs and stuff, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, that's as far as we got. I should probably grab my light, but basically, kind of what's going on right here is, I don't know if you can kind of see where my finger is there.
Yeah, so they've vented up over the hitches, or is that supposed to be like that?
So basically, I think this is factory. So this is the factory bend.
Okay,
normally goes over top of the frame rail like that, but it seems like, so like where my finger is, so there's actually the this cross member here has actually been like it's separated. Like I can feel I can feel the edge where it's stress cracked.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of see where it's kind of separated from something over here too.
Yeah, I can see a gap,
And it's the exact same on the other side, and if I don't know if you can kind of...
Well, I was wondering that because I was lifting up on the wheel well and I could see the whole bed flexing.
Yeah.
So that's one of the causes, eh?
Yeah, so I'm going to try doing what I can do as far as making that a bit more solid too underneath there. So like both from the front side there and then from the back side, just to kind of brace it all up for you.
That's one hell of a beefy trailer hitch, isn't it?
Oh yeah, oh you'll be, yeah, yeah, you're set.
I've never seen anything so strong looking. Boy.
Yeah, did you get all equipped to do that then?
No, that was there when I bought the truck.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, no, this is pretty heavy duty, man.
Yeah.
Like that's, 1/4-inch plate. That's,
That's not going to move anywhere, is it?
Yeah, no.
Good place to jack it up with that.
Oh yeah, no, and honestly, you know what? Like you could probably, like, to be totally honest with you, like you'd be probably all right pulling a car trailer with something like this. I mean, it's well built.
Yeah.
Like hands down.
Yeah, it looks pretty strong, doesn't it?
Yeah, they welded it to the frame, and they got.
And then they put the extra plates on the frame too, so.
Yeah, no, it's very well built.
Pretty strong. Yeah, I think I'll probably leave the metal here.
Okay.
Like I did on that tunnel on the inside where I have some, I'll kind of feather it in and clear coat the metal a bit and shine it up. And it'll look,
look all right.
I think it'll look cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll knock some of the welds down for you, and then you can kind of do whatever you're doing as far as any top coating or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm heading over to see the Baobab seeds now. This will be day 3 in the greenhouse in the little jar. So I don't know if they'll be alive or dead, but let's go in and see. So I think I'll have to plant them soon. Let's go in and have a look at them here. So here's the jar. And I left it open because it's fairly humid in the greenhouse here. My paper towels are still damp to the touch, which is good. So I'll pull them out. And lay it out here. And let's see what they've been doing. Okay, so here they are. And I'm going to zoom in. So there they are. So I wouldn't say the roots have extended much more. Maybe a bit on this one. I don't know why that one's all funny colored, but I think it's okay. So I think I'm going to plant them. I think it's just they don't seem to be doing well in this bottle, so I'll try planting them and see if they come up. I want to find a suitable pot to plant the baobabs in. I want to find a deep pot. A shallow bonsai pot like this doesn't have much kind of hydraulic pressure, so when you water it, it doesn't drain very fast because it's got a large surface area and a shallow depth. I want the opposite. I want a small surface area and a large depth, so a kind of a small diameter deep pot, and that'll ensure really good drainage in the pot. I can hear Robin calling me over here. Where are you, Robin? Oh, there you are. Hi. Are you waiting for food in there? All right, I'll come feed you, okay? Okay, are you ready for your food? Oh, you seem very excited. Hi. Okay, here it comes. Oh my, oh my. Here you go. Did you like that? You did, didn't you? You're so excited. There you go. So since we've had Robin, he has eaten an entire can of this Science Diet dog food, and he's working away on his second can. He's got about, I would say, a third of the second can done now. It's just amazing how much he eats. Ready for some more? There you go. Oh, yeah. More? You still want more? Okay. There you go. Okay, are you ready for a bit more? Okay, here we go. There you go. Your foot kind of slides on there, doesn't it? Hey? Maybe that's not a good spot to feed you. There you go. A bit more. Oh my goodness, that was a big mouthful. All right, little Robin. I think that's enough, is it? Hey, is that enough? Yeah, I think that's enough. Oh, I've got nothing. I've got nothing. That's not food. That's my finger. Okay, a little bit more? Okay. All right, I think, whoa, that's gonna make a messy bee. I think that's enough. Hey, that's enough now. Okay, Robin, that's it for now. That's it. Bye-bye. I've got a pot picked out for the baobab seedlings. It's just a plastic nursery pot. I've added a drainage screen in the bottom, and I'll fill it up to about here with bonsai soil. This soil is half perlite and half turfus. There's a train going by. I think that'll do. Okay, let's get out the seeds now. I've got the seeds out here. I'll just move them out into the sun. There they are. So you can see this end has the root here, this end over here, and this end over here. So I want to place the root so it's sticking down into the soil. Okay, I'll place the first one in the middle of the pot here, and you can see this is the root here. So that is the part I want kind of sticking down into the soil. Like that. And we're going to bury these later on. So that's one planted. The next one is this one. And you can see the root is right here and the leaves will come out the top. So I'll place this one root down into the soil, being very, very careful with these. There. And the last one, I'll put it over here. Right here, and I'll get the root down into the soil just like that. That's perfect. I'll want to put a top dressing of soil on top of the seedlings. You want enough soil that the root can push down into the bonsai soil without lifting the seed out of the pot. So you don't want the root to push the seedling up. You want the seedling buried enough so it stays in place and the root goes down into the soil. So
Probably a layer about this thick of bonsai soil on top will finish the planting off. All right, here I go with the top layer now. So I just want to bury the seeds. Like that. And they'll be able to push up through the soil as they gain strength. I'll give them a thorough watering, and this soil is very free draining, so they won't be too wet at the surface here. It should be just right for them. I'll water now using rainwater. So here I go. Just drain off the excess water. And that should be good. I'll put this in the greenhouse. All right, let's get them in the greenhouse. And the ideal temperature for these baobabs is between 24 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius. So pretty typical for most tropical plants. So I'll put them right over here. They get pretty good sun in here, and I keep it warm, so hopefully they'll gain strength. If these don't work out, and you know, it's quite possible they won't, I've got more baobab seeds on the way, and I'll try planting those. So, and if those don't work out, I'll have to mail order some more seeds in, and we'll just keep trying until eventually we get some baobab trees going. And if they do sprout, if they germinate, that may just be the beginning of my troubles. The next step is to get them to survive their first year and their second year and so on, because it's going to be quite a challenge to get them to survive here in Canada. It's time now for today's updates. The first update today is my Ficus benjamina, and this is the one where the top of the tree died, right here, and I took the top as a cutting, rooted it, and then I replanted the top on top of the existing trunk, and it's starting to make quite a nice bonsai once again. I did some quite severe chops to the top of the tree to reduce the height of it, and now it's starting to fill out nicely, and it's getting tall again. So I want to prune off some of that vertical growth up top and get the tree down a little shorter. I'll look for some points up top where I can reduce the height of it and still keep some foliage up top. So there's a major trunk line here I can remove, like that. There is one I can remove here. Like that. I'll take a branch, a vertical branch off here. That. I'll prune this one back to here. Like that. Take the top of this branch off. And I think I'll have to get my smaller pruners now and just do a little bit of profile pruning to get the overall shape back. All right. I'll come out front and have a look at it. Here's a look at the tree now. And I think that's not too bad. It's got the shape kind of restored. And I'm hoping that by pruning the top of the tree here, it'll stimulate more growth coming out from this main trunk towards me. So right now, you can see it's kind of empty in this spot. So hopefully, you know, there's some growth down here. So maybe something will come out and we'll get some good branching in this area in the future. So, you know, you can only take it one step at a time. But it's starting to look like a mature ficus once again. These cuttings here, or these clippings, it's a really good time of the year, midsummer, to root these as cuttings. So you just have to take off the lowest branches, and I just put them in bonsai soil on the bench in full sunlight, keep them well watered, and usually they've rooted by fall and well rooted. So
Yeah, so that's it for the Fusion Ficus, or some people call it the Franken Ficus. Yeah, it's looking not too bad once again. I will be repotting that ficus, and I've got a new pot over here, which is right here. So it's a shallow clay pot, and it's about the same dimensions as the seed tray that it's in now. So it should fit in there quite nicely. And I think, you know, being shallow like that, it should dry out a little quicker and allow me to water and fertilize it more. So I think with proper watering, it should grow quite well in this shallow tray. The next update for today is Julian's bougainvillea bonsai, and the flowers are just looking fantastic on it. You can see that's the actual flower, the little white part, and these are just colored leaves. So just amazing. It just looks beautiful. A wonderful tree, and it's got this fantastic bark on it. It's almost like a corky kind of bark. Just a young tree, but looking really good. My asparagus fern over here is just growing really well. You can see all the shoots coming out of it. It's really dense. And the exciting thing is it's flowering. If you come down here, you can see these little white flowers all over it, and they come out to little white flowers, and then they turn to little red berries. So I'm hoping that I can keep some berries on it for this fall when it's all pruned up. Right now it's just growing wild, but eventually I'll prune it up to a tree-like form, and I'm hoping it has some nice red berries on it. There's the trunk down there, which is just the root base. Yeah, so it's growing really well. It really suffers in the winter. It loses a lot of these leaves, but then when it goes outside in the summer, it just takes off once again. So it's probably good to have kind of a dormant period for it, because it sure goes well in the summer. I'll give you a few more updates. On the floor of the greenhouse here is my Ficus Fancy. You can see how large it's getting. It's getting quite a canopy on it. And let's go down. We can check out the roots down here. Looks like it needs watering. So it's developing quite nicely. I'm just letting it grow and thicken all the branches up, and then I'll be doing a pruning. Maybe I was going to try and display this in a show this fall, but there's no shows, so maybe I'll just let it grow all summer and then prune it back when it has to go back inside the plant room. The Brazilian rain tree back here, it is also growing like crazy. Look at the amount of growth on it since we pruned it last. So it's just, yeah, growing really well. And I'm thinking, see how these branches are getting really long? I'm wondering if I keep growing them long, will they start to droop? Maybe they will. And maybe that's kind of what I want, to get that kind of umbrella shape to them. So I'll let them grow longer, and we'll see what happens if they start to droop, like kind of bend over, or if they just keep growing straight up like that. I don't know. So a bit of an experiment, we'll see. The Princess Earrings has a flower from today. It's got an expired flower over here and some really old flowers, and you can see, I think those are seeds in there. So I'll try and harvest some of the seeds if I can. And there's a flower going to come out there, and I think that's about the last flower for this season. And then hopefully it'll go through a growth spurt. The next update for today takes us back into the greenhouse, and we're going to check up on the fiddle leaf ficus, or fiddle leaf fig. I reduced the tall plant. I reduced it down in height. So here it is here. There was the one leaf that stayed on it, and now it's pushing up some new growth up the top. And if we look down below, if I can get in here, you can see the leaves coming out from a branch down below. So
You know what that means? That someday, if I can see it there, someday I'll probably be reducing the height down to that first branch way down there. So that'll be in the future when that branch gets stronger. And we'll try and make kind of a short, squat fiddle leaf ficus out of this tree. The cutting is over here, and you can see the leaf on top of that. So it grew quite well from a cutting, which is just amazing. I had no hopes for that cutting. You can see how kind of dark brown or black it looks. I thought, well, that's dead for sure, but I kept watering it, and then one day it poked a little green leaf out, and I went, it's alive, wow. So that's really cool. I'm amazed that cutting grew. But the Ficus religiosa, it's growing roots all over the top of the bench here. You can see them, and it's doing quite well. It needs pruning. There's a branch way over here, so there's a few branches that died off, and there's a good strong leader up there. So that'll be coming up in future. I'll be repotting it, reducing it, doing a bit of styling to it, but we're going to try and keep it small.
That's all for today. I hope you join me in the future for updates to the Baobab seedlings. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone. All right, here I go with the top layer now. So just... hold on. God, get out of there. The last update for today takes us back into the greenhouse. And these are my Ficus elasticas. I cut down my large... No, cut, not Ficus elastica. Cut.